welcome back. We are glad you are watching. This is K24 This Morning with me, Shiko Kaitani. All right, so welcome to our social hour. And if you are a mom or dad, please listen up because today is all about you as we talk about your role in our digital space. Now, I like to say that the internet is kind of like money. It can be used for good or it can be used for bad. Well, despite how you feel about technology, it's definitely here to stay. And as a parent, being able to understand your child's world is of the utmost importance. And my guests in studio today will be telling you why. In fact, tech experts say that you have no choice but to adapt. And let's understand why it really does help for you to be a tech-savvy parent and how you can actually help your children harness the internet. I want to start off by welcoming right next to me Evelyn Casina, who is a family IT consultant and founder of Eminet Communication. At the center, we do have Pastor Ken Nyaga, aka the digital pastor. He'll be telling you how that title came about. Well, he is a digital skills consultant. And then last but not least, we do have a mommy in studio, Lily Njue, who is the parent of a 5-year-old child. So welcome guys to the studio.
Thank you.
Good to have you. Lily, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay.
Glad to be here.
Boy or girl?
Boy, 5 years.
5-year boy?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so let me start off by talking to you guys about what we are currently seeing. I know this is kind of a sensitive topic, especially for parents out there, concerning our Consolata boy, who's currently making the rounds. Fine, he's actually, the content, as we already know, is explicit. Yes. Misuse of the internet is what comes into play. Let me start off by your thoughts really quick, and then we can actually get into tech-savvy parenting.
I think for me, on this particular subject will be lack of parenting.
Yeah.
There is like clear lack of parenting. Yes.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Pastor DG, what do you think?
I think for me, it has to do with maybe some level of literacy with the parents, and when it comes to guiding their children on how they should adopt internet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lily, what would you do if your 5-year-old boy happens to be trending on social media like that?
What I would do, I would try and talk to my son about it. Try and tell him that that is not wrong.
Yeah.
But I would, first importantly, I would lay down a good foundation for the child, such that they know what to do and what not to do. Because when they know exactly what is right and what is wrong, then they won't go to such extremes. Yes.
Okay. Well, some interesting research that we came across here, that according to a newly released American family survey by Desert News and Brigham Young University in 2018, shared that the 3 biggest fears American parents have for their teenagers today are technology, bullying, and poor mental health. And you know what? That's actually where I want us to start. That yes, this may have been a survey done in America, but let's try and see if we can relate to what parents in America are really feeling. And that is our question to you today. We're going to be asking you the question, what exactly are your fears when it comes to your children and technology? What are your biggest fears when it comes to your children and technology? Get in touch with us today through our social media platforms at K24 TV. Of course, if you prefer to call, even better, share with us some of your stories as a parent dealing with a child who's in this digital era. Who is at blame here? Is it the parents?
We will try and look for someone to blame, obviously.
Yeah.
As a society, we will definitely look for someone to blame. But let me start by saying that the home environment, the parent or a guardian, is the first point of interaction for the child.
Yeah.
So if you fail at home, you do not expect other institutions that have handling with your child to handle them better. We need to be able to start looking at the ecosystem of the child, in the sense that who is the person who interacts with my children? And how are they interacting? What values are they sharing with them?
Yeah.
And at home, having those very conversations with our children by the time they're going out. When they're going to school, you know, you tell them what to do, what not to do.
Yeah.
If you have conversations with them on how to behave offline, why wouldn't you extend that to how they behave online?
Online, good point. Lily, let me rope you in here. Just be honest with us. Have you ever seen any need for all this digital presence? And do you wonder, what is the big deal about, you know, understanding the internet?
I think I have seen, for example, for entertainment, if you deal with the digitals, kids these days, most of the things they want to watch from YouTube. So a kid will go to YouTube and access a cartoon or something. But me as a parent, what I need to do is to watch, maybe if it's a cartoon, try and watch it before my kid can access it. Because that way I'll know how to regulate what my kid watches and what he doesn't watch. But regarding the social space and the social media, to be frank, I don't think my son needs to have a Facebook account. I don't think my son needs to have an Instagram account.
You think hizo vitu ni za baadaye?
Yeah, hizo vitu ni za baadaye. When exactly they know what they are doing.
Okay, Pastor DG, you actually train and you coach people from day to day. Listen to what Lily just said and the kind of perception parents have today in regards to the internet and having a digital presence.
Well, what I would say is this. Internet is everywhere. We don't have a place we can say specifically, this is where internet belongs. And that is why I believe that whatever is happening in America can also happen in Africa and any other country. Because, for instance, from the statistics right now, out of the 7.7 billion people in the world, 4.3 billion people, they are online. Meaning, whatever trends you put online is likely to get to this kind of a community. And there is this generation that has come, we call it Generation 2.0. The one of the kids that were born from 1997 onwards. These guys have been born and they have found smartphones, they have found tablets. Internet is part of their life. So they don't have an imagination of even how life would look like if there was no internet or these gadgets. Meaning there's something that you cannot learn away from. I think now it's a high time that the parents become a bit responsible, get some little skills, understand this thing. So there's no way you can learn away from this. And these kids now, the force of technology is even bringing it even in the school. For instance, in Kenya. You remember what the president did, that they introduced the computer, the tablets in standard 1. And now imagine being a parent of a kid who is digital in school, then you are analog at home.
You are analog at home. I like that. And let me just ask you, at that point, that is where the friction lies, because you have a parent who did not grow up with these things, and so doesn't understand why it is a necessity for the child.
That's the gap, actually.
That's the gap.
Yes. But the thing is, and this is what I encourage parents at home, and when I'm teaching them, you don't need to be as tech savvy to code and stuff like that. But get into their world. Getting into their world means get to understand why that internet, why the gadgets are very important. Get to understand what is it that, you know, I'm fascinated about when I'm doing this. Then when you're, as she said, she wants to interrogate what the child is watching. Why can't you empower the child also to interrogate what they are watching? Because how often are you with your child? Let them know, before I watch this, I need to pre-screen it. This is how I do it. I can go back to the conversation of values. These are the behaviors that are important to me. And I will do A, B, C, D. Should I find content that is not suitable for me? That's why I put my compass. That's my boundary. The children need to have that. But the parents also have to have that conversation with the children to get to understand, this is an exciting space, this is an exciting one, and we cannot run away from it.
You cannot run away from it. Lily, what kind of rules do you have in your household?
The rules I have in my house is that there is a certain time when you can access screen time. Not every time that you have a phone to watch YouTube, to do other things. There is certain timelines when you can do something and when you cannot do. Also, I have to be present if at all you have to interact with the phone. You don't feel like you're encroaching in his space by, you know, saying, okay, we have to watch this together. No. I mean, there are so many other activities that the kid can engage in other than just being online. Other than having screen time. They can do outdoor games. They can play chess. So your son is well aware that, by the way, there is time for screen time,
and there's time for everything else.
Yes, actually I'm a working mom.
Yeah.
So when I'm not at home, mostly if it's over the weekend and I'm not in the house, he knows that he can go downstairs and play soccer with friends. He can go outside and cycle his bicycle. Yeah. So it's not all, life does not really rotate around social media, technology and all that. Yeah. But when I'm home, that time I'm able to regulate what he can watch.
Okay. Yes. All right. I want to share with you a very interesting article that I came across in the Daily Nation by one writer, Caroline Njuge, who was actually telling the story about one lady known as Phyllis Kiama's daughter, who happens to be 13-year-old. And although they actually are from the popular Nyayo estate in Nairobi, you can imagine this young girl, the 13-year-old, doesn't leave the house. She rarely leaves the house because she spends most of her time on her mobile phone or on her mother's laptop. And you know what? She actually goes on to say that I can't go outside and enjoy myself because my friends are also indoors. And Pastor DG, I want to bring up about tech addiction at this particular point. Yes. When is it really an addiction? When is it okay, proper usage?
Well,
yes.
You've mentioned the word addiction.
Yes, and can I just stop you there because I understand we've got a caller on the line. Mutinda from Kirinyaga, then we can get back to you and you can explain addiction. Good morning, Mutinda.
Morning, Chico.
Yes, Karibu.
Really following up on the debate, eh?
Yes, and today you'll keep it brief, I hope.
Well, I think I hope I do. Now, let me focus on the kid that you've just played the video.
Yes.
I'm really surprised that our panelists can go ahead and say that sometimes such is product of kids who are brought up by parents who are not tech savvy. With all the indications, Shiko, if you look at that child, in fact, she looks like those kids who come from the cream of the society. She looks like her parents are some of the best people in this country. She's getting the best of the best. I don't know what has become of us as a country whereby we've turned to this sort of escapism that we are every day excusing decadence, immorality, indiscipline among our children to internet. Everything that happens today, you know the internet this, you know the internet that. Yet we know every human being has the cognitive ability at a particular age to know when they are doing wrong. That kid is not behaving the way he's behaving because he learned that from the internet. Okay. This kid knows very well that what he's doing is wrong. It's in him. He knows very well that what I'm doing is wrong. Yeah. So can we just stop blaming everything on internet today and realize that we as a society, we have our own issues with morals, and we need to fix that so that our kids can also learn from us. I think technology is very much blameless on this one.
Okay, all right. Thank you for that, Mutinda. Always appreciate your feedback on our show. Okay, we've got another caller from Moranga. Yes, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yes.
Yes, that is Paxton Chege from Moranga.
Yes, Chege, karibu.
Yeah, thank you. A place known as Kegumo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We appreciate that Moranga is watching, but moving back to you, yes, Pastor DG, we actually were talking about an addiction. When can we be worried?
I think we should be worried when we get to the point whereby the kid is like, he makes technology like something that is a must for him or her. And that's when we should begin to put regulations. Okay, it's not when we should begin, but at least we should not allow it to get that far. Like now, for instance, my kids, I have a boy called Promise, 7 years old. And when I started exposing them to internet, because I knew this one is unavoidable. Yes. I knew, so the best thing is to build them in the right way. I realized at some point, he could not do without now the smartphone. Actually, I even dedicated one for them with the sister. Right. And it reached a point now whereby whenever they are going to school, they tell me, Daddy, our phone should be left at the table room, not in your bedroom. And I realized that at some point, even if you tell them, just go and ride out there, or go and do this and that, as much as they are doing that other game, they should accompany it with technology. And I realized now we need to regulate this. And because if it doesn't now get regulated, it gets to a point whereby this kid feels that whenever I'm at home, I must operate a
device,
smartphone or a device. And at that point, if it goes beyond that now, then we'll be having a lot of trouble. Like I was seeing now in US and in the West, there are so many people who are now going through like internet kind of a counseling thing to help them withdraw.
Can you imagine?
Yes.
That is, it's actually a thing.
13. As early as 13, actually.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Counselors
people are
helping
having withdrawals from technology.
Exactly. That's
oh
a kind
God.
of a rehab.
Wow. A tech rehab.
We should not ignore this generation.
Okay.
Because they can't learn away from technology.
Yeah.
And actually, I tell you, today we are talking of Facebook, we are talking of YouTube and other things.
Yeah.
But this generation is about to come up with a very crazy thing. That is going to make all of us wonder. Yes. So let's the great Ari.
Okay.
Yes.
But what really are children's needs that we are not getting, in your opinion, Evelyn? Because you're in family IT. When you actually sit down with that 5-year-old, 10-year-old, what is it that they really do want that their parents just aren't getting?
First, a child needs care, a child needs love, and a child needs attention. When those things are not being provided, they will look for them elsewhere.
So is that why the binging is coming in?
Yes.
Okay.
And one of the things that I just allow me, because I came with a few tools of trade.
Right. Go ahead. Yeah, please feel free.
I have 3 containers here.
Okay.
And one of the things that I show children, we have, so we have big rocks.
Okay. Big rocks. Okay. So maybe our camera can zoom in and see that. Okay.
Big rocks.
All right.
Yes. So a child who is less than 10, just any kind of child, have 3 big rocks. I mean, your education, your family. Yeah. You can choose your spiritual life.
Okay.
Put your big rocks away. So those are the things that have priority in your life. Then we have small rocks, right? These pebbles, they look white. So technology, playing with my friends, you know, swimming, all those extracurricular activities, right? And these are petals, and this, I say, it's the things that you can or cannot do without. For instance, it's very hot, I want ice cream. I won't die if I don't get ice cream. I can have water, I need to still suffice. So we need to start having conversations about this.
Okay.
What are my big rocks? What are my small rocks? What are my petals? But before that, a child, any child out there needs to be able to know who I am.
Yeah.
So who am I? Looks like this, a small human being. So I give them these props.
Yeah.
Girl and boy.
Yeah. So they can,
So I actually make them choose. So where do you lie, right? So if it's you, where would you lie?
Okay, so girl.
And I want you to understand, I want you to start writing for me who you are.
Right.
Apart from being a host on K24, apart from you being a sister, a mother, because we are not understanding. When somebody asks you who you are, we come up with the labels that we have.
Right.
And then you forget even, I mean, I'm a good swimmer, I love this, I love that.
Yeah.
And what happens when we are not understanding who we are offline, we are not able to mirror a person online. So wherever the wind blows, we blow with it.
Yeah.
So this person, they need to write.
Okay.
My name is, I am a female, I am a male, this is what I like, write, and then this is your identity.
Okay.
And because they can't sign, I make them do.
Handprint.
Because they can't sign. So
that's really cool.
This is
okay,
my
let me
handprint.
hold that for our camera.
So when we are having discussions with children, we start with identity.
Yes.
Because he said, we are raising the internet generation. We didn't have that growing up. But even right now, if you look at a parent and ask, who are you? They will really struggle to figure out. Okay. But then again, how does your child communicate online? Because when they're online, physical barriers have been broken.
Okay. Okay.
They're speaking to anybody from anywhere.
Right.
Changing culture, interchanging religion, interchanging behavior. Okay. It's not what we used to have.
All right.
So now, the conversation he was bringing up about addiction, what we need to start telling parents is, what are the red flags?
Because what are the red flags?
How do you get there?
Okay, we'll talk about red flags in just a few, but roping Lily in. Yes. Look at this. She actually has like a module as to how to, you know, communicate with their children, to at least help them figure out who they are. In your case with your 5-year-old, is it just a strict timetable that it says from 7 to 8, this is screen time, 8 to whatever, you're doing this, or is this the kind of stuff that you have at home?
It's not strictly rules of what needs to be done and what needs not to be done. There is some freedom. When he's not maybe doing his homework, watching TV, playing outside, he actually has a tablet, which I have taken an initiative to download some educative games.
Right.
Because there are so many things you can do with a phone, with a tablet. So I've taken it upon myself to download some educative programs which he can use. And actually that has been very, very helpful. Even the teachers acknowledge that. They acknowledge. Because him being in PP1 and having some educative programs on the tablet, he's able to learn. Because as much as it's educative, he's also able to be more creative. He's able to learn more about technology, such that if he exhausts the things that I've downloaded for him, he's able to go to Play Store and get something else that is also educative. So it's all about inculcating a culture where he knows what is right and what can help him learn and also be more skillful.
Okay.
Yes.
There are parents, Pastor DG, who go on to say that, by the way, the much I know is okay. Does it surprise you as to how clueless a lot of parents out there are in regards to things like app development? The other day I was at the salon and this girl was literally playing with her Barbie house but on a phone. You know, when we used to put a doll in their house and we used to have tea time and play, you know, they're having a cup of tea and whatever. She's doing all that but on a phone. So now it's not like you're playing with dolls organically, it's on an app.
Yes.
And parents are like, I don't know. Well, I don't need to know.
The parents should accept the fact that what is happening with our children now is not something that we can stop them from doing. If I stop my kid and restrict him in a way, he has neighbors. And that is what they have experienced in their place. Because the experiences of my kid is not the same experiences with the other parent's kid. And so what we should do is this. I think, like, I would support what she has said. We should begin now to introduce them to the right things. And try to always learn what has the kid been doing. Every time you can look at the history. You go to the webs and click on the history part and see what has been trending, what has this kid been doing on the smartphone or on phone. Then you are able to know, okay, now this and this is happening. Because let me tell you, we've got sometimes very dirty materials in the internet. And the kid is very curious. They'll open that and see that, you see the blogs. They expose too much. Some of the people have personalities that we know. And the kid will see and begin to relate because they see them in the TV, they hear about them. And that one might now begin to provoke something else. And we might end up having kids who are also being brought up by the internet. They have a parent called internet. They have a parent called the biological mom and dad. They also have another one in school. And they have got their colleagues. I think it narrows down to having very responsible parents who are ready also to get very enlightened.
You have to be willing.
You have to be willing. There should be a very deliberate kind of a decision. That now this is the way I should be a parent to these kids in this kind of a generation.
All right. Just to take a short commercial break and then we'll get back to you, Evelyn. Hold that thought. Don't forget your point. But we're going to throw the question to you of the day and we're asking you to give us your feedback. Share with us some of your experiences, including what you have discovered that your child was actually searching for on the internet. Trust me, the stories will surprise you. And so what we are asking you this morning is, what are the biggest fears that you have when it comes to your child and technology? Please share.